good now. All right, so I'll start. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another live session from the series How to Get a Professional Job in Australia. And this is the part number 1 of how to apply for an engineering job in Australia, where I will cover where and how to search for an engineering vacancy. And then in part 2 next week, next Sunday, I will cover what is important to include in your curriculum and in the cover letter as well for one specific job vacancy. And you will help me to choose this job vacancy, and I'll tell you a little bit later. And in part 3, the week after next, I will cover what is important to do in preparation for a professional interview and how to behave in the interview to improve your chances to be successful. And you also will help me to choose a specific job vacancy for this one. And I'll explain a little bit later as well. But first, for those that don't know me, my name is Gerson Ida, and I'm the founder of www.engineersinaustralia.com, a website to share content of value and useful information to help you in your journey to your validation of your engineering qualification here in Australia. And I also share information about workplace health and safety, environmental management, the day-to-day of engineering here in Australia, and also about professional engineering recruitment. And if you haven't joined my Telegram group yet, you can use the link that I'm going to paste in the social medias now to be part of my engineering qualification validation Telegram group. What is Telegram, Gerson? Well, Telegram is a messaging app, looks like WhatsApp, but in my view, I can put more people in a group. I can send messages and videos and audios, and everybody gets it. There's no algorithm with Telegram. And currently, I've got 823 members in my group. Thank you very much, guys. It's a free group. You can join, and then you will be notified and received updates about engineering qualification validation in Australia, and also about job opportunities as well. And if you know another engineer that would benefit in having information about the validation process and job recruitment, please feel free to share this link that I'm going to paste now, copy and paste, to share with them. So I'm going to share in Facebook. I'm sharing in Instagram, and also I'm sharing now in YouTube. Those on Instagram, if you go to my bio, there is a link there, and then you can also click on the link, and one of the buttons is to join the Telegram group. But you need to download the app first, so you've got to download the Telegram app, and once you download the app, then you can click on that link, and then you will be able to join the group. And also, if you are interested in the free workshop, I changed the name of the workshop now. It's going to be I Want to Become an Engineer in Australia. It's an online free workshop that I'm going to be promoting the first week in September. So if you're interested to participate in the free workshop, I'm going to also copy and paste the link so you guys can register your interest and be part of the workshop in September. So let's get down to the business now. And I'm really happy to be here to share my experience as a recruitment panel member and chair of those panels. And I have recruited lots of engineers and project managers already, and I have compiled many tips to help engineers to get their first professional job. And I hope that with this series of 3 live sessions, part 1, part 2, and part 3, you will be able to improve your chances to get your professional job here in Australia. And as I said before, tonight I'm going to show you where to search for engineering jobs, how to search for engineering jobs, and also how to turn on job search alerts. And it's going to be a tutorial. So I've got a few sites already open in my computer, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and you will be able to see, and then obviously have an idea how you can actually do it. So the first one is where to search for engineering jobs. So there are the usual websites where you can search for jobs. And for example, there is seek.com.au, indeed.com.au, and career1.com.au. Those ones are probably the most popular websites for job search here in Australia. But I'm going to show you other ones that perhaps not many people they know about those job search sites, but certainly can help you in your journey to get your professional job. And also, I forgot to say that I'm going to prepare a PDF of this live session. And actually, I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to prepare this PDF, and the PDF will have the information of that I'm going to share with you guys. For example, these are the websites there: seek.com.au, indeed.com.au, career1.com.au. And I will be preparing this PDF, but there is a catch as always. I have a post in my Instagram, the last post in my Instagram, and I'm going to show you. There's a post where I asked a question about which job you would like to apply for, and that's the post. Check my stories. I want to know how to apply for ... engineer job. So this post here, I would like you guys to like and comment in the comments what type of engineering you will be applying for a job. And if I have engagement, which means likes and comments, then I will prepare this PDF, and I'm going to post in the Telegram group for you to download. And there will be a password, and the password I'm going to be releasing during the live session. All right, so let's have a look at those websites: seek.com.au, indeed.com.au, and career1.com.au. So I'm going to go here. First of all, let's have a look at seek.com.au. And if you have any questions, please send your questions in the comments, and I will be answering them pretty soon. So seek.com.au, you can start doing a new search, and let's say here, let's put engineer. Any classification, and in any let's put a very broad range, all Australia, and then seek, and then there will be lots of obviously vacancies there: engineer, mechanical engineer, junior project engineer. We didn't really specify what type of engineer, but obviously if you type in, for example, I am a civil engineer, so if I narrow down, still a lot, so I can narrow down to where I am, Brisbane, and see how many. Still more than 1,000 jobs here. So here is pretty much how you search, and that's for Seek. And then there is Indeed. So let's say Indeed here, graduate engineer in Australia, find jobs. There is also heaps of graduate engineer jobs. And why did I type graduate engineers? I type it graduate engineers because a lot of you guys Probably is going to be your first professional job in Australia. You may not have experience in Australia, so perhaps applying for a graduate position or a junior engineer position is going to be your entry level in the Australian market. And even though if you have some experience, if you were a senior engineer in your home country, perhaps you need to apply for entry level positions here in Australia, so just you get your foot in the door. So that's pretty much similar for Indeed.com.au, and also similar to career1.com.au, engineer, all categories, all Australia. When you filter, then you've got 5,000 jobs here. So you can certainly be more specific. But we'll go to the other ones that you guys probably don't know. There is one which is, where is that? This one, jobsearch.gov.au. This is for federal government, Australian government jobs. So, for example, let's say if there is any federal agency advertising for engineer jobs, so engineer, location, industry, let's keep it open. So let's search and see. So there are 8,000 jobs. That includes network, that includes engineer in the title. So let's say here, mining engineer, Brisbane. It's a full-time position. So where is that going to work? It's going to work Pioneer of Autonomous Haulage Solutions, Company Hayes, etc., etc., etc. So there's certainly private. Looks like there are private jobs as well, or perhaps Hayes is the contractor, is the recruiter. They could be recruiting for federal jobs. So that is for the Australian government job search. And then there are several websites for the state governments. And I separated just few ones. Let's say Queensland here. Queensland is smartjobs.qld.gov.au. And when you search, you go to job search. Let's say engineer, all locations in all occupational groups, in all departments. So let's have a look. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of well, in this case, 33 matching jobs. Let's have a look here. Engineer, civil, for the transport and main roads in Cairns. So, and this is a fixed term, temporary, flexible, full-time. And classification is about PO2, PO3. I'll zoom in a little bit. And the yearly salary is between 65,000 to 95,000. So closes the 15th of July. Once you're happy with that, you can then click on that one there. It will open up a little bit more details. It's going to give some information there. And this is a fixed term, so it's until 30th of June 2022. Usually there is a position description. Mandatory requirements. So this one, you need to be accredited by Engineers Australia. You have to be validated by Engineers Australia here. And yeah, there is a job description. So very important, guys, to have a look at the role description or job description. And then it's down there. So once you download, you open up. But we're going to open up in next next live session, we're going to talk about the curriculum and the cover letter, analyzing one of those role descriptions. So this is for the Queensland government. For the New South Wales government, the website is iworkfornewsouthwales.gov.au. And you don't need to take notes of this because it's going to be, everything is going to be in my PDF. Again, you just need to engage with me in my last Instagram post and like and make some comments. What sort of engineering jobs are you going to apply for? So this is for the New South Wales government. If you want to search for a job within the state government in New South Wales, you can put in there engineer, and let's search in everything and see what comes up. New South Wales, because they are building heaps and heaps of infrastructure, you probably have a lot of opportunities in terms. Oh yeah, there's mining, the mining project manager, engineer, junior here. Let's have a look at this one, which is junior. So that's within the public works, advisory and regional development, construction and architecture. It's a full-time position. Remuneration package, clerk grade 3 and 4. It says here annual salary up to 87,000 depending on experience. The salary range is between 72 and 79,000 plus superannuation and annual leave loading. Superannuation usually is between 9 and 12%, and annual leave loading will be probably between 25-30%. Of 1 month, you get your 1 month salary, you get those your annual leave loading. So total package about 87,000, but it's for a junior engineer, so it's not that bad. And then it talks about what you're going to do, about the role, what you gotta do. You gotta have a qualification in civil engineering. Do they talk about relevant field experience? It doesn't talk about other mandatory qualifications there. Does it have a role description? It doesn't look like there is a role description. There are 2 target questions which you need to address in your cover letter. It says here that you got to attach a copy of your CV and a cover letter and responses to the target questions below, totaling no more than 6 pages, that tells us about your relevant skills and experience. So in this case, your CV and cover letter cannot be more than 6 pages. The target question 1, why have you chosen a career in engineering? And target question 2, what are your long-term career goals? They're very specific, yes, but there is a role description here. So once you click on the item, you ended up getting the role description, and they probably have, yeah, they have key accountabilities. Let's have a look at, they have the selection criteria. Let's have a look. Capabilities, focus capabilities. Yes. When you have a look at the focus capabilities, you've got to manage self, communicate effectively, deliver results, project management, optimize business outcomes. So those are the capabilities and competencies that you need to address in your cover letter usually. But we're going to have a look at this one in the next live session. So this is New South Wales. For those in Victoria, so where are you guys from? Are you guys in Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, Western Australia, Tasmania? Where are you guys? Or are you outside, or are you overseas, outside of Australia? So for those that they would like to apply for the Victoria government, you have careers.vic.gov.au. and then you can do your job search. And where is view all campaigns? Probably is this one. I haven't searched any for them. I don't know how you do this, but certainly there are somewheres that working for Victoria. I don't know if there is a search. There is a search. It's not that good. You're supposed to have a search field. Job alerts. You can do your job alerts, but you should have, I don't know. Yeah, find out more. No. Perhaps all campaigns. You don't really have a. Yeah, there's all of those things here. That's interesting. Doesn't look like they have lots here. Well, perhaps got to spend a little bit more time here. The other one is Western Australia. So how do you search in Google? You pretty much just search Western Australia government jobs, pretty much like that. And in this one, let's say here, let's put engineer again, and then let's search. So it's going to be pretty much searching everything. No, we gotta narrow down. So we need to put occupation. Let's put engineering. Salary range, let's say up to, we're talking about the entry level. Location, let's say Perth. Agency, let's say transport main roads. Main roads, where's main roads? Yeah, it's not very user friendly, isn't it? Main roads WA. And then put engineer and then search. Yeah, it's not very user friendly, isn't it? So we see all jobs. So let's have a look at all jobs. Education. Yeah, it's not very user friendly, isn't it? So you need to kind of have a look, and then you search until you find an engineer job. The other website that I'm going to put in my PDF is careerspot.com.au. Usually receive notifications with engineering jobs here. So let's say here, let's try again, engineer, and let's search and see what comes up. There are a few things here. Energy efficient specialists. So let's have a look on this one. $55 to $75 per hour plus super. So that's probably anything between probably $85,000 and $140,000 a year. Is there any mandatory qualification here? Skills and experience in project management, experience in technical engineering roles, desirable qualifications, accounting, business administration, economics, finance, or engineering. So there are, this website here, you can actually search by state, I think. Let's have a look, just the engineering ones. Engineer, network maintenance and asset management, project officer to work in water, senior drainage engineer, Manager asset planning for water as well. Principal civil engineer. There's some very intelligent people here. CSIRO, postdoctoral fellowship in solar cells, etc. So this is also another option here in Australia for the careerspot.com.au. Another option that you may have is with the Australian Institute of Project Management. It's jobs.aipm.com.au. And then once you click on jobs, you will come up with this page. And then with the Australian Institute of Project Management, a lot of companies or associates with that institute, they actually publish their job vacancies there. So for example, Oricon, they are a consulting firm. They are recruiting a project manager to work in Canberra. It's a full-time position. Let's have a look. Senior project manager in Adelaide. Let's see, project engineer. That's for the New South Wales government. Transport for New South Wales in Sydney. It's a full-time position there as well. Project coordinator, KBR. KBR is a contractor in Adelaide, South Australia. Project manager for the Macquarie Group. Project engineer, electrical. So there's quite a lot of work here, jobs in the Australian Institute of Project Managers as well, project management. The other website is linked to the Institute of Public Works of Engineering and Architecture, I think. So it's hoopla4jobs.com. Match infrastructure professionals with infrastructure jobs. So those ones that they are interested to work with infrastructure, you can search for those jobs in this website as well. And when you have a look at view all jobs, there's civil engineer, designer. Let's have a look here. Management, team leader, let's say engineer. Engineer stormwater and flood protection, civil engineer, designer. There's all the descriptions there, etc. And works engineer, project manager, industrial hygienists, traffic engineer, corrosion engineer, energy and engineer, mechanical engineer, so project engineer, environmental engineer. So there are lots of infrastructure jobs in the IPWEA. That's the federal government, and I think Career Spot, Smart Jobs, that's for the Queensland government. All right, so I'm just going to show you. Those websites are those ones that are included in the PDF. So they are all here for the Australia government. This one for the Queensland government, for the New South Wales government, Victoria government, Western Australia, and then the AIPM, the Australian Institute of Project Management, the IPWEA as well. So this is to answer the first question, where to search for an engineering job. So all of those websites there. And then the second question is how to search for a suitable position. So, and I put in here that another common mistake is when the applicant applies to all positions he or she can find, or all the positions that you can find, regardless of the restrictions that you may have. And you need to remember that if you are, for example, an international student, probably majority of my audience, they are international students. And for example, as an international student, you may have some restrictions. Majority of international students, they can just work 20 hours a week. Others, they can work 40 hours, but majority can probably just work 20 hours a week. And also, you got to remember that you are a holder of a temporary visa. You're not holder of a permanent visa. So it's really important perhaps to save some frustration in the beginning. Try to start your search with part-time positions and or temporary positions. And why is that? Well, one, because if somebody is advertising for a full-time position, if somebody is advertising for a full-time position, obviously they want somebody to work at least 40 hours a week. And if you cannot work 40 hours a week, you are then wasting the time of the recruitment panel member. So it's really important that you filter that, and if you don't apply, and that you don't apply to those positions that are requiring full-time positions. And also, some companies, they could be advertising full-time permanent positions. And permanent positions, usually, they put in their conditions that you have to have the rights to work indefinitely here in Australia. And if you are a holder of a student visa or a temporary visa, you don't have that right. You have the right to work temporarily. So, and why is it important? Because recruiters, they spend a lot of time, effort, and money to do one recruitment process, especially if they are engaging a recruitment agency. When a company engages a recruitment agency, they probably spending between $15,000 to $25,000 in that recruitment process. So they don't want to invest that amount of money and then have somebody that can just work 1 year or 2 years. They want to invest that money, and they want somebody to work that at least have the capacity to work many years. So imagine if you are investing $25,000 to recruit somebody, you want this somebody to stay with the company for a long time. If the person moves on, well, that's another matter. But at least the person has the capacity to stay a long time. Oh yeah, Gerson, but if we narrow down the search, if you put part-time and temporary positions, there will be not a lot of job opportunities. Well, perhaps there isn't a lot of job opportunities when you compare to full-time positions. But remember, you just need one. You just need one position that will accept you. So it's better to have like 10 positions that you can apply for, and those ones, they match with your restrictions, rather than if you apply for 100 positions and none of them, they are matching with your restrictions. And sometimes that's why you don't even get a phone call, because people see that you don't really have a visa to work full time. They don't bother to even ring you. So that's going to save a lot of frustration as well. Obviously, if you have full-time work rights, then you got to search for the full-time positions if you wish, obviously. And also, if you are new to Australia and don't have much experience, perhaps you should search for graduate engineer positions, and perhaps any other position titles that you could search. They also could help you to put your foot in the door in the industry and start working as a professional, perhaps not as an engineer, but in a position that is very close to an engineer. And once you are there in the company, you can then apply for other jobs and get your promotions. And some of the titles that you could be applying, they could be the assistant project manager. You can obviously apply for a project manager position. You can also apply for project support officer, project costing officer, the project systems representative, pretty much in terms of doing quality assurance and quality control, and also for like a site engineer. So not just for engineers, but graduate engineers and all of those other titles as well. All right, just going to remind you guys that I'm going to release this PDF here, this PDF that I'm showing with all of the websites and the other information. And the only thing that you need to do, you just need to go to my Instagram and then check my last post, which is this one, and hit the like button, and then put in the comment what sort of engineering job you will be applying for. And if I have some engagement there, likes and comments, I will post this PDF in my Telegram group. The Telegram group, the link to join my Telegram group is in the comments. And the PDF is going to be protected. The password is going to be professional job. So altogether, small letters. The PDF password is going to be professional job. I'm actually going to put in the comments. People that are not watching, they're not going to know what this is about, but is professional job. Put now in Instagram, professional job, and in YouTube, professional job. All right. Okay, I've got some comments here. I'm just going to have a look. Simone, she's in Queensland. Yeah, good. Federico, Gerson, first of all, thanks a lot for this. In Chrome, it does appear. All right. Okay. Thanks, Federico, for the Victoria jobs. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't show up in my Chrome. Yeah, thanks for that. Going to have a look if there is any comment in Instagram. No comments in Facebook as well. No. All right. Okay, so I'll keep going. The next part is going to be, let's go back to my notes here. Yeah, the job alerts. That's a very important thing that you need to do, is to turn on your job alerts, because if you don't really check every day the job websites, if a new job comes up, you're not going to know. So how do you do that? I'm just going to share my screen again. So for example, let's say I'm going to turn on in seek.com.au. We searched for civil engineer, any classification, Brisbane. It's very easy. Usually there is a place that you can save the search and get new jobs by email. So in this case, obviously you need to sign up and you need to be logged in. So I am logged in here, as you can see. And then I did my search, and then I can save that search there. So when I save, it says here, manage your saved searches. So the only one that I did was civil engineer in Brisbane. I can probably go back to the job search. Let's say that I'm searching for, what sort of engineers are you guys? Let's have a quick look now. The first one that types, I will search here. So I'll have a look here. Where's the first one? There's a little bit of delay, so I need to wait a little bit. So I'm just keep an eye on YouTube, Instagram, and Instagram. Yeah, Natalia. Yeah, well done. Biomedical engineer. Wow. Let's have a look, Natalia. So thanks for that, Natalia. So biomedical. First hit here. So let's have a look. Biomedical engineer. And then any classification, well, we put any classification there. Do you have any preference, Natalia? Would you like all Australia, or would you like in the region that you live? Where are you now? Again, there's always a little bit of a delay. So obviously, if we put all Australia, it's going to have much a broader results. But Natalia says Adelaide. Let's say if we can put Brisbane together. No. No, you can't really put more than one place. Listed now. Looks like you gotta do one search. So let's have a look at this one first. So service technician. I don't know if they are biomedical. Doesn't look like they biomedical engineer. No. Doesn't look like there is biomedical engineer in Adelaide. Not sure why you came as a service technician. Perhaps, let's have a look. Perhaps the qualification is biomedical engineer and it doesn't say that. No. Electrical or mechanical service. So let's have a look. That's in Adelaide. Let's have a look. Well, if you want to save this search, then you hit save, and then you save that search. So let's put Brisbane here. Oh, Brisbane. And let's have a look. Yeah, biomedical and dental field service technician. This position involves performance verification, preventative maintenance, and repairs on equipment used in hospitals, medicals, and dental clinics. Perhaps this could be something. Let's have a look what sort of a qualification they ask. Usually between 60,000 and 80,000. We service the position. Does it have any qualification? The applicant will be expected to have completed electronics or electrical engineering trade certificate or diploma, and you must hold a current driver's license. So it certainly is not an engineer level position, but perhaps if you are a biomedical engineer, you're more than qualified to apply for this job, and perhaps get the foot in the door. So let's have a look at other field service engineer, medical devices. Yeah, perhaps that could be something. Biomedical technician, field service engineer, customer service engineer, biomedical technician, dental service, dental equipment. There's certainly, there's 6 pages. Obviously, it's not all for biomedical engineer, but perhaps that could be one option. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Natalia. So that's pretty much how you kind of try to do your search. And there is, I just want to show you, because in the work types, it's where you can select full-time, part-time, contract or temporary, and casual and vacation. And I mentioned that because of you guys, majority would be part-time. Let's have a look. Let's broaden a little bit. Dolapo said that he's a civil engineer. Let's have here in Brisbane, and let's just choose part-time. Let's have a look if there is and he's saying that he's a structural. So let's have a look here. Structural engineer, inspector. Is it part-time or not? Let's have a look. Well, it says here part-time. We are looking for a structural civil engineer with 1 to 3 years industry experience. So it's not a very experienced engineer. So for the junior engineers, probably is all right. To undertake inspections and condition assessments of buildings and civil infrastructure. Okay. Skills and experience, etc., etc., etc. To apply for this role, you must be able to legally live and work in Australia. Visa sponsorship not considered. So in this case, in this position, they're not offering a sponsorship. So you need to be at least a permanent resident here in Australia, obviously, if you are a citizen as well. But there are options for part-time positions as well. So this is how you kind of narrow down. And in this one, probably, let's have a look if we put full-time and temporary. Because temporary, usually, they don't really need to be a permanent resident. So let's say, let's have a look here, civil designer. It's a full-time, but probably is going to be temporary. Let's have a look. It doesn't really say if it is temporary or contract, but because it's, that probably says somewhere, but we need to read a little bit more carefully. So let's not put full-time, just put contract and temp. Let's have a look here. That's interesting. Internship program. So contract temp, and so probably this one could be an opportunity for you guys to work just temporarily with a company. It looks like it's going to be part of the graduate development program. So that's probably a graduate engineering program. Okay. All right. So this is pretty much how you kind of turn on your job alerts. You narrow down your searches. And then again, I'm going to talk about the part 2 and part 3 of this live session that's going to happen next week. Turn on job alerts, part 2 and part 3. So as I mentioned in the beginning, how part 2 and part 3 is going to work next week. In the same post here, how I'm going to choose. If you, just going to check if there's any question there on YouTube. Yeah, Federico Aeronautical, Simone Civil. Simone is asking how we're going to have access to the PDF file. Well, Simone, for my students, I will put in the VIP group in Telegram, no password for my students. For everybody else, I'm going to put the PDF in the Telegram group, the general one, the engineering qualification validation group, and there will be a password. And the password is the one that I mentioned a little bit before. Professional job, all together, small letters. So, and Ajish Shrestha asked in YouTube, can we get the hints for best resume? That's a good thing, Ajish. That's what I'm going to talk now, how we're going to do in next week's session. So what I'm going to do, as you can see probably in your screen now, just going to, yeah. So what I'm going to do is, you see my last Instagram post. So from tomorrow, what I would like you guys to do, if you want me obviously to talk about the resume and the cover letter, if you find a job in one of those websites, put in the comments the website, the website address. So let's say I'll go back to the to that website again. So let's say that you found this one, junior civil engineer. So this one there. So what I would like you guys to do is to copy the address, let's say, and then I'm going to my Instagram, and then you copy that one there, and then go to my post, that post here, and then I would like you to paste that website address. So I paste in there, and then on Friday, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a draw. So I'm going to choose or draw whoever put the website address with the search. On Friday, I'm going to do a draw, and then I'm going to select obviously one job vacancy. And then on Sunday, I'm going to use that job vacancy. And then I'm going to, before the live session, I'm going to have a quick chat with the person who posted the job search, so I can have a little bit of insight about the resume. And then I'm going to give some tips and hints to improve the resume for that particular job vacancy. And also for that specific job vacancy, I'm going to give hints how to write a very good cover letter as well. But I need your help. I need you to do your job search. Doesn't need to be one that you're going to apply. If you have one that you are interested to apply, but you're not applying because you don't really have all the conditions. But if you like a job description, a job position, and if you would like me to have a look, put in the comments. And then on Friday, I'm going to do a draw, and I will be contacting the person who is selected, so we can discuss in the next live session next Sunday. So that's how pretty much I'm going to do next live session. So from tomorrow or from today, if you want to do today, it's okay. Just remember, in my last post, which is this one, from tomorrow I'm probably going to have more posts, but just put under this post here. And then, so that's next week, part 2. Part 3 of this live session is about hints and tips for professional interview. And next week, during the live session next week, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to select the subject or the job vacancy for the live number 3, where I'm going to be discussing hints and tips for that specific job vacancy that we will be selecting the week after. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the idea? Trying to do something a little bit different. That's actually my wife's idea. So I can kind of bring a little bit more value to you guys, and also do something different. I'm just checking the comments there. It's all good. All right, and for those ones that are interested in the free workshop, I want to become an engineer in Australia. So I think I copy and pasted, but it's never too much. I can copy and paste again. If you haven't registered yet, it's a free workshop. You can register for free, and the workshop is going to start on the 5th of September. So I got a little bit of a break between the last one last month and then in just a little bit more than 2 months time. So you can register and then you'll be receiving by email the notifications of these live sessions, and also you will be receiving the notifications of the events of the workshop. The workshop is going to be probably the full week, 7 days of a lot of content and live sessions and recorded videos as well. All right, so I hope that these tips have been helpful, and I hope that they assist you in your journey to get your professional job here in Australia. Understand that for those ones that are outside of Australia, it can be a little bit frustrating because the borders are just open for permanent residents and citizens. But you can use this time to get yourself prepared, validate your engineering qualification, start applying for some jobs just to get a feedback. It's important for you to apply for jobs and then get some feedback from the recruiter so you can improve and adjust your application to the Australian style. In the next live session, next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time, I'm going to talk with you guys what is this Australian style for engineering jobs. And as I mentioned before, I can talk about this with you guys because I have already recruited dozens and dozens of engineers and project managers, and I have already assessed hundreds of applications already. And I've seen so many good applications, but also so many bad applications. And obviously, I would like to help you to prepare and put together a very good application, a very good CV, a very good cover letter, and good hints and tips for you to do in a professional interview so you can get your job. All right, if I don't really have any other question and comments, I would like to thank you guys very much for your participation and attendance. Almost hour and a half already. 1 hour. And I hope to see you next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time, here in the live session. See you then. Bye-bye.